Hello everyone, I'm Caroline.
And I'm Phil.
And welcome to our happy hour.
Indeed.
We've got some fun coming up tonight. We've got the usual questions, we've got some happy news and general chat, and I'm sure we're going to come around to food because we always do.
Well, I think we are bound to come around to food tonight because not only do we always end up coming to food, but of course food featured in the video this week.
Yes.
In fact, food found its way onto the thumbnail.
It did.
Caroline was
I couldn't
searching for a
resist.
suitable image and decided that the sausage roll,
That was the star of the show.
definitely. And there will be a sausage roll question tonight because I've got to be honest, that was the best sausage roll I have ever tasted.
It was. Now, I'm not a big sausage roll fan. I can take them or leave them. I usually leave them.
And I'm vegan, so I don't even eat meat most of the time. I say
But-
I generally lean towards a vegan diet. I've never said I never ever eat meat. You know, that's not. But I do prefer to try and maintain a vegan diet, which is why I've managed to lose my weight and try and stay in best shape I can. But
Yep.
then I saw the sausage roll. Caroline saw the katsu curry pasties. That was your temp, wasn't it?
Yep.
And I just looked. I thought those sausage rolls look exceedingly nice.
They would. Well, you can chew. I left the crunch on as Phil bitted at the end of the video. I don't know if you got that far, but
Boy.
they were just so lovely.
It's unbelievable. So a big shout out for, I believe it's Neil at the Raglan Butchers there. Fantastic food, and no backhanders. We went in there simply because we were impressed by the array of items advertised outside, and I don't know how many of you noticed, but at the bottom of that huge list of food there was a little note from the owner that said, "Come in and look around if you dare."
Yeah.
So we just felt challenged.
Well, we did.
We did, you
They
know.
were right.
You can't say that sort of thing to me and Mankey. We're going to do it, didn't we? We're going to do it.
Well, we don't normally travel a long way for food, and we've got neighbours who only buy their best Welsh black beef, and they travel down to West Wales
Yeah.
to buy it, about 2 hours drive. We've never been like that, but I do confess that I am tempted now to drive all the way to Raglan just to buy a sausage roll. Because that may be very odd.
Put it this way. Raglan Castle has now moved its way very quickly up the list of venues for filming.
Yes, that could be coming up very
Caroline
soon.
really thinks we should go back and film the castle.
Oh, yes. Purely for art's sake.
And time it for lunch. But it was, no kidding, what an array of food, but the stuff we ate was brilliant. And one of the comments from Dave, I believe it was, a good friend who has given us some good tips in the past with regards to the mudlarking side of things in the early days, he was saying that he actually did the renovation work, which, talk about a small world, one of our followers, did the renovation work.
Did he do the
inside-
renovation or did he do the planning? I thought you said he did the planning.
Oh, I'm not sure, but he was.
He did something.
He was involved in it, and he was saying it was a major task to take on because the entire village centre is protected to maintain its look and its features because it's got such historical
That was really
significance.
quaint.
It
Very nice.
was. It was lovely, and so glad that we were able to chat with the butcher, and Caroline was able to chat with those lovely people in the pub, because I lost Caroline because I thought Caroline was going to go into one pub looking for a group of people, and she went into another pub by mistake.
You know what my memory's like.
Found a
It's all-
completely different group
I
of
read
people.
about where the
Coffee morning.
what do you call Welsh cakes and coffee morning was.
I know.
So I headed there thinking it was which one?
But you went in the Beaufort.
I went in the Beaufort, and Phil
Should have
had
been in the
caught me
ship.
up and went in the ship. So I was in the Beaufort thinking, and I'd asked the person behind the bar, I said, "Where's the place where you get coffee and Welsh cakes?" And he said, "Oh, you can go around the back and order Welsh cakes. We do sell them." He looked really puzzled and thought, something's not right here. He said, "Go join those people in there, they might know." So I saw a group of people went in, and it turns out they
this
were
must
doing
be
French.
you thought this is the church coffee morning. No, it was the University of the Third Age, and they
Yeah.
were learning French together. I, meanwhile, in the other pub, the last 2 or 3 people are drinking their coffee and leaving, so I'm in the right place. I come back out thinking Caroline wasn't in there. I go back in, search the place. Then this lady comes behind the bar and looks at me and thinks, "Why is he searching my pub?" And I said, "I've lost my wife. she's supposed to have been coming here for the coffee morning. She said, well, I haven't seen anyone. And I thought, well, neither can I. Eventually, and of course, the one thing I can tell you about Caroline's network and the Beaufort Inn, no signal, because I was ringing you and couldn't get a reply.
I know.
So you just don't know the chaos.
Oh, it looks all so calm when you see it.
I know.
It wasn't calm.
You know the old thing about the swans? That's us. A couple of swans gliding along the water and kicking away like mad beneath the surface, trying to keep the thing afloat.
But it was lovely meeting the French group. So I'm
Yeah.
considering going. The only thing is, it's a long drive for me. So
On
I
the
don't know,
other
but if it
hand-
was closer, I would be tempted.
On the other hand, it's 100 yards from the butcher's that sells the pasty.
As if I would let something so frivolous tempt me.
And it's on a Tuesday morning when the shop is open. Now, if it'd been in the evening, I would have considered it. Now she's got the added temptation. She could go and do an hour of French conversation, and I could come up and keep the pasties and sausage rolls and everything for when you come out.
There'd be nothing left by the time he came out.
You're not going without me. I don't mind you go to French on your own, but you're not going to a pie shop without me. No, it was genuinely good.
We need to have a look who was first in.
I know who was
away.
first in.
It's
I had a
almost 10
look.
past.
Yeah, I had a look.
Lexi B was first in tonight. Lovely. The one who always makes me breathe that sigh of relief. Whoever's first in think, oh, I've set it up right. Second place was Ed Creative. Well done, Ed. And in third place was Lisa Roberts. So well done, you three, for getting on the podium. And Jackie, hello Jackie, said finally made the live show, and I think we've got some new people in tonight. Just had a glance as I was sliding up, now I'm sliding back down. And we got Donna Roten. Hello Donna. Now, allowing for my stupid memory, have you been in before? I can't remember you being on the live show. I can't remember. But then again, that doesn't make any...
But
It's
then
not
again,
unusual. I
she
can't
couldn't remember which
anything.
pub to go in.
No. And there's somebody else in down here from somewhere exotic sounding. I will be with you now, sorry. Dum-de-dum. No, this... here we go. Billy Kisi, I think it is. 78. Good evening from Istanbul. So that's a long way for this satellite signal to travel. So welcome tonight.
Excellent. Lovely to
And
see
if
you.
you're new here and I have missed you, then please put a row of smiley faces so I can say hello, because I'm never
Indeed.
sure. I'm useless. You get used to me if this is your first time here. I'm like a boot.
For 40 years, I utterly relied on the fact that although my memory was awful, I had married a woman that remembered everything. And for the last 2 years, we've been muddling through, haven't we, dear? Because now Caroline's memory is almost as bad as mine.
Yes, almost.
In fact,
no, it does have its moments.
In fact, if we're sat in the room with my 89-year-old mum and my mum says something, we wouldn't dare disagree because her memory's better than ours put together.
And if you're new here, don't panic. It's not I've got Alzheimer's
No,
or anything.
no.
I just had a mini stroke 2 years ago and it's really affected my memory.
There we go.
Yeah, you're going to laugh at it, haven't you? So we just treat it as a bit of
Well,
funny
yes.
things.
Well, I've had
Silliness.
to laugh at it. You've been laughing at me for years when I get it all wrong. Do you want to do a question?
Yes, let's have a
Because you
question.
do like to get your questions done.
I do.
Okay. Let's have a question.
Well, before I do, Beata said, could you get them online? I don't think they do them online, Beata. And they are lovely, fresh out of the oven too. So
Oh, yeah. The,
by buying them direct, they're really
the
fresh.
katsui curry pasty we had was cold, but, cool.
Yeah.
But he said the sausage rolls have just come
They were.
out.
They was-
And we ate them a little. We had to walk back to the car and
they were
everything.
still
Took a bit
warm.
of filming on the way, and they were still lovely and warm. But if you're in that part of the world, folks, if you live in that part of the world, it's worth the trip. If you're ever travelling through that part of the world on the A40, heading along that road there, it's worth. We will detour in future. Rather than stop off at the services, I would rather, if I was heading up Birmingham way, I'd rather detour into Raglan, grab a couple of things from the butchers and have them in the car en route. Take a flask.
Yes. Anyway, we've got to stop raving about the food. We
Yeah.
always end up focusing on food.
I tell you what,
Let's have a question.
let's get it right out my system, right? And,
Go on then.
and let's have the sausage roll question first.
Okie dokie.
Okay, here we go. Sausage roll question, folks. Without a doubt, sausage rolls are a favourite snack in the UK. Just one just one company by the name of Greg sell 2 million of the things every week. So they are very popular. And as far as I'm concerned, and agreed with by my wife, Caroline,
Possibly.
the ones we bought at NS James and Son in Raglan are the best I've ever tasted. The humble sausage roll in this country has even been the subject of quite a number of Christmas #1 hit songs in recent years, including Sausage Rolls for Everyone in 2021, which featured Ed Sheeran and which other star? I'm going to give you 3 options. You've got to wait for the go. In case any new comes in, you've got to wait for the go. Was it A, Paul McCartney, B, Elton John, or C, Cliff Richard?
Go. Right, before I send the... Lexi said she saw something about flooding in Hastings earlier. I hope your family, they weren't affected. No, they're fine. I was talking to them about half an hour ago and everything's fine, so we're okay there.
Was that up in Hastings?
Up in Hastings, yeah.
Yeah, fortunately, a significant part of Hastings, as is quite often the case at many coastal areas, is up on the hill. And we're fortunate that our Nathans and the family are up on the hill.
They are, well up.
So, yeah, they were totally safe. Right then, Oris. Well, we've got more variety.
While Phil tries to find the answer, we'll just let you know we're not going to be here next week because we're going to be in Hastings, and we don't think we're going to have time to do the live show because the situation is going to be very busy.
Well,
so
we're going to be childminding that night because it's our Nathan's birthday.
Yep.
And he will be going out with Anya in the evening to have a meal. So they can go and have a meal. We're going to be up there with Max. So getting Max settled down now.
We can't guarantee he'll be asleep.
So it's better we let everybody know now that we're going to be on family duties.
Yeah. So we'll be busy next week.
You know, it's a case of what do you give to your son who's got just about everything.
Yeah. When they live so far from home, it's go up and look
after
the
little one for the night so they can go out for a couple of hours, and that's our gift for his birthday. So there we go. Okay, folks, the answers are coming in, and we have got all 3 answers appearing. It's good to see. I caught people out with 1 or 2 of my
sneaky ones.
Sneaky ones, yes. I thought, well, you've got to chuck Cliff in. I mean, a couple of people are bound to go for Cliff, but as it is, that particular song featured Ed Sheeran and Elton John. Yep, the money was for the Trussell Trust. They were raising money for charity. There's a couple who have got a blog who put out a silly song a few years earlier, about 3 or 4 years before, all about sausage rolls. And I think it was... Oh, what's the song they used? I Love Sausage Rolls, wasn't it?
That was I Love Rock and Roll. They turned to I Love Sausage Rolls, was that right?
That was the first one they did. And to their amazement, it went viral, became #1 in Britain, and got stacks of money for the Trussell Trust. So they did it again the next year, and the next year, and then this particular time, Elton John and Ed Sheeran said, we want to come on with you, and we want to push this to #1 and get maximum we can for the charity, and they pulled it off.
Yeah.
Which was brilliant.
It's really nice of them to let them in because, you know, they could have said, oh no, Elton,
sorry,
Ed, no, you know, we're fine on our own, but no,
they were very gracious and they shared the limelight, but they had been in the limelight for a few years, and it was just done as a bit of fun, and you just never know where it's going to lead. No. So, who gave us Elton John, which is B? First B on the list is Dan Fetters.
Well done, Dan.
Gold podium for Dan. The man with the spanner, Ed Creative, gave us a B. So you are on...
just a minute, I'm just going to... Oh, yeah, that's right. Sorry, ignore me.
Yeah, Ed's got a spanner.
Yeah.
And he's got B, so he's got a silver podium. And then Beata.
Well done, Beata.
Beata Heinz. There we go. So they are our 3 in a row. Dan, Ed and Beata, you have got gold, silver and bronze on the first question.
Well done.
You are our sausage roll podium people. Yes. And it's the last time I'll say the word sausage roll tonight because I'm a vegetarian who likes sausage rolls.
You said it, see? Told you.
I'll do my best.
Right.
Can I do 44 minutes without saying the word SR?
We'll
Here we
find
go.
out.
We'll see how
And
it
we'll
goes.
count how many, instead of counting monkeys, we'll count how many times Phil said the word sausage rolls tonight.
Yeah, I tell you what.
Go on then.
It was a very nice food picture and description over on the Facebook group this week with Ed.
Oh yes, he's been busy cooking again, our resident chef.
Yes, it was a very, very nice. Not only did it look very tasty, but Ed shared how virtually all the ingredients came from reductions at the local store. So it was cost effective as well as healthy and tasty. So
Oh,
it was great to see.
Lexi said, here's some useless trivia. Ed Sheeran sent my friend and his husband a video message on their wedding day. There was a big campaign to get him to sing for them because she has a serious medical condition. He was out of the country at the time but sent a video message instead. Oh, that's really lovely of him, isn't it?
That's
The
very nice.
thing is, he's trying to come on this show and I keep saying, Ed, you
I
know,
know.
we're such big stars now, we don't really want to take on somebody as small as you, but he insists on coming on. Oh, he'll get the hint one day, but I just have to keep refusing him at the moment. I do have a plan. If I keep saying this, you see, you've got this AI and it goes listening to all these different conversations all around the internet. And one day I want to get it to the point that I've said that so many times when you put in Ed Sheeran, up will come Ed Sheeran, keeps applying to be on the Let's Go with the Johnsons live show.
Yeah, we're going to fool the AI.
And then people are going to say, what? And Ed Sheeran's going to go, what? It's just my sneaky plan.
Yeah, so, Donna is commenting on your dark tree, saying how much they loved that over on the Craft
Oh,
channel.
thank you, Donna. I enjoyed doing that one. I came up with the idea when I first got the wings. I picked them up in the car boot sale. They were a bit tatty and bent. I glued them all back together, and then you saw I painted them. And I thought these would make a lovely backing for quite a sort of a Halloween tree. And it worked. I was pleased with that. When the doll's head fell off, though, I was like, oh. I expected the arms and legs would probably drop off, but I didn't think the head was going to pop off. Oh dear.
Ed mentioning veggie sausage rolls. Yeah, they do. They became quite famous, didn't they? The veggie sausage roll, the vegan sausage rolls in Greggs were. They had a big campaign going. They were selling
And
out
non-vegans
everywhere.
are buying them because they're
Yeah,
so
they
tasty.
reckon they
apparently.
were so nice.
What were they? Vegan what?
I cannot say. I must not say the words.
Told you.
It's Ed's fault. He wrote it down and made me say it. I'm blaming Ed. Ed made me do it.
Ed, you bad boy. Phyllis said sausage rolls look similar to America's pigs in blankets. I suppose they are the same.
Well,
I think
pigs in blankets over here, if I know rightly, is a sausage in like Yorkshire pudding, isn't it? That's what we.
I thought it was wrapped in
No,
pastry.
wrapped in bacon.
Oh, wrapped in bacon, yeah.
Wrapped in bacon.
I've seen them wrapped in pastry.
Toad in Yall
but
is.
is
No.
Now getting very confused now.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think a British pig in blanket is a pig wrapped in a...
It's a pig.
Is
A whole pig wrapped in bacon. That would be
Leave me
really.
alone, it'd be a long
that'd be
day.
a big dinner.
It's a sausage roll wrapped in
It's a
sticky
sausage.
bacon.
No, it's not. It's a sausage.
Sausage. Oh, no. I need to go to bed.
Right.
It's a sausage, wrapped in sticky
bacon.
bacon.
And they serve it here at Christmas with the turkey and all the trimmings.
Yes, but I think I have seen them wrapped in pastry, but I think that possibly is an American thing.
I did read that, I think it was just a few years ago, somebody in the States patented a particular product and called it something like sausage puff or something. And they said basically it was a sausage roll, that just like we have, but was trying to get it into, because I don't think it's part of the American culture like it is here. And it's been in Britain, this product that I must not mention, has been in Britain since the 1800s, when street food became sort of popular because people were coming into the cities and working and they needed to eat and they wanted quick food. So it was probably a variation on pasties. But just simply take a sausage roll
And the
up
sausage, you put it in there.
and it
quicker.
was much quicker, much cheaper to produce, I would imagine, because with a pasty you put numerous things in, but just take a sausage, roll in pastry, bang it in an oven, flog them on the streets, people were eating them. And they've become an all-time favourite. And as I said, just the one supplier in Britain, which is a massive supplier, Greggs has grown so big in the UK, sells 2 million a week.
Now, if I could have £1 for everyone they sold,
Tell you what,
they're doing okay.
well, they sell them for over £1, so they're making some money. But and the reason I know this is because that was almost the question I was going to ask, because I was looking at doing my sausage roll research, which I mustn't say I was doing my research.
You did it again.
I know.
Ed said, Mankey keeps timing out Elton John in chat. I wonder why he's never in. Must be Mankey's constantly shutting him and Ed Sheeran down all the time. One day we'll have to have a word with him and just let him say a few things. Glenn Device says, I've only ever had 2 sausage rolls. One were from Spa, don't recommend it, and one from a cafe in Carrickfergus in Northern Ireland that I enjoyed. Carrickfergus always sounds like a wonderful place, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's got a beautiful name.
I think one of the things that you expect if you buy a sausage roll from a butcher's, then you would expect the actual content, the meat part of it, to be of a good standard, because ultimately the butcher's business is meat products. What astounded me with the one we bought up in Raglan was that the pastry was brilliant, as well as the filling. You know, that's the thing.
You're talking about them again.
But I'm not saying the word. I'm just talking about it. But it was true. Yeah,
You've got to stop talking about so strong.
So crisp and lovely. Well, you shouldn't have put it on the fingernail. Another fingernail.
The fingernail. The fingernail. That sounds like your fingers dropping off. You go, ooh, I've got a bad case of fingernail. Anyway, let's get on and do something. I got... Oh, now I don't get to see these happy news beforehand. And quite often I'll say to me,
Caroline tells me off because it's too long, so I've given Caroline a nice short one this week.
So here we go. Let's get your little jingle. No, wrong one. That wrong one. Just a minute, I can't find it. Mail time news. Got it.
It's all happening. Now we're going back here. We ain't even coming back on.
I'm sorry, I have tried.
Caroline's just trying to make me feel more confident.
That's what it is.
For the nights she's not here, and I've got to try and operate those things.
I was actually giving you a demonstration of all the different things I got
These
on
are
my system.
all of the things that could happen in any show.
Oh, I'm looking forward to our Christmas countdown. I'm going to start that in December. I love that. It's worth tuning in at the beginning of the Christmas countdown if you haven't seen that one. I love it. Right then, today we got Car Community came together and transformed a young man's birthday. A devoted single mom was looking for a budget-friendly way to give her son a special birthday. So she reached out on Facebook to the local car community, and their response left her speechless. Michaela, you're trying to wind me up. Michaela Freeman was hoping to urge a few more motor enthusiasts to drive down their street near Nashville. My son's 8th birthday is on Sunday. He's a major car guy, she wrote, and within 2 days it sparked the generosity of 83 drivers who showed up as Tristan was brought outside to witness an endless stream of gorgeous cars, tooting their horns and passing birthday wishes and gifts through the open windows. Wow, what a lovely thing to happen. That must have been so exciting for him.
Yeah.
Can you imagine?
8 years of age, and as his mum said, he was mad on cars.
83 cars!
And but it just goes to show, because we had a similar story to this several weeks ago, when a daughter put out an appeal for a dad who was quite aged and he loved dogs, and all the dog owners come through with their folks with little outfits on their dogs and all that, so about 100 people turned up, wasn't it? So, you know, I think an awful lot of these sort of communities, whether it's in the job I do as a funeral celebrant, when we have a funeral that's attended by the biking community, the way those people come together, and bikers from all over the area will come, even if they didn't know the individual, when the word goes out that a biker funeral is taking place, they will come, and they not only turn up, like 100 of them, but as the hearse travels to the crematorium, the bikes actually form a guard of honour, and they will pull onto the roundabouts, close it so that the cars can come through together, the bikes can come through. I've been in several, and you know, again, it's this community. It's like it's lovely when people have a common interest, and then through that common interest find that they can do good. And that's what happened here. And I thought it was a lovely story. Lovely story.
P. Mitch just came on and said, I'm late. What's going on? Something about sausage rolls. Phil is not allowed to mention sausage rolls again for the rest of the show. It's not working. He keeps mentioning them.
I didn't say a thing. You can play it back and see that in the first 25 minutes, I probably only said that word about 50 times, which is on average once every 30 seconds.
Sounds about right.
But they were nice. I'll tell you that much.
Right then, we're going to have... What are we going to have? Let's have another question.
Oh, yes. Question. Actually, this is question number 1, because I've already asked question number 5, because we had to get the sausage roll subject out of my system, and the 5th question was about sausage rolls.
Oh, John Coolahan said, hello, Phil and Caroline, from John and Alana in Maine, USA. Hello there over in Maine. Hope you're having a lovely time. Right. Now, Lexi. Should Phil call them sausage en croûte?
Ooh.
No. you mustn't
Right.
mention the sausage either.
There were lots of things going on in Raglan and the surrounding area, as Caroline showed, not only on the notice board, but also in the post office window. There were notices everywhere for all manner of things that were going on, from little kiddies, toddler groups, right through to the coffee mornings and all manner of... It's not just an historic community and location, but it's also a very vibrant community. You got that sense, didn't you, that it was a very busy, active place. But my question is, on the notice board, which Agatha Christie play was displayed as being performed in a theatre in Monmouth in November? Was it A, A Murder is Announced, B, Why Didn't They Ask Evans, or C, Murder on the Orient Express?
Go.
What do you think, folks? There is, and in fact, I'm toying with the idea of getting tickets. I may get tickets because we're thinking of doing a trip to London next year on Caroline's birthday. And when I looked for tickets for an Agatha Christie play up there, to get decent seats was going to cost me about 150 quid. In fact, as much as £200 if I went on the night I wanted to go on, whereas we could go and see it in this play in Monmouth for £30 for the 2 tickets, which seems very reasonable. So, as you can see, I've been abandoned. Caroline has run off and left me.
Seeing as we like talking about food, I heard a knock at the door, and Tim,
Oh, look out.
look at this, Tim has ordered takeaway.
Oh,
see the cards
for
in there?
me.
I don't know what's in there, but it smells absolutely wonderful.
You stole his food.
Smell that.
You have stolen your child's
I just said,
food.
can I go and tease everybody with it? So I'm going to give it back to him now before he goes cold.
You better ask him where it is then. You can tell everybody. I can smell it. It smells very nice.
It does smell nice, doesn't it?
Yes, indeed. So, which one do you think it is, folks? Well, oh gosh, lots of people came in on this. Right. We've got, in the first 5 answers, we've got all 3. So there's quite a selection of things, but also we have got quite a number of correct answers.
And Tim has got kebab and chips. So there we go. Not only did he smell wonderful, but you now all know what he's eating. Thing is, the room smells of kebab and chips. Upstairs smells of kebab and chips. I'm like, oh, I've got to go to bed and not have any.
Right. I think it was Peggy that mentioned earlier on. I got the right answer, but I was too slow. Peggy, I'm sorry, you're not in the top 3 again, but you've still got the correct answer.
Well
so
done,
you're
Peggy.
doing well. Keep your own score, folks. See how many you get during the night. Because the correct answer was A Murder is Announced. But the first answer in was correct, and that was off Bonnie Tyler Fan 34.
Well done, Bonnie Tyler Fan.
And Mike Sage was 3rd in, but 2nd correct answer, so that's silver for Mike.
Well done, Mike.
And then right next to Mike, Carlin Scott.
Well done, Carlin.
There we go. So it's Bonnie Tyler, Fan 34, Mike and Carlin. You take the podium with the Agatha Christie question. But People were guessing around the place. I think I tried to choose titles of a similar length, so that if it didn't quite register with people, it would confuse you. And
Sneaky.
it seemed to work, but as I say, majority got it right. But I just thought £15 each, that might be tempting, and only an hour from where we live. Somewhere we filmed before. You've seen our films of Monmouth. We've been there more than once.
Yep.
And may go along to that, because as I say, compared to London prices, then wow.
Lexi said, do you have touring theatre companies down your way who play at stately homes and castles, usually outdoor performances?
I'm not
Not that
sure.
I know. I've never heard of any.
We've never
They do.
really followed up on these
But
things.
you've heard
have we?
about things like there are places like you've got the Minnock Theatre down in Cornwall, and you've got, I know they do things at certain castles, but I've never seen it advertised. Definitely in Caerphilly Castle, I've never
No, I
seen
haven't
anything
seen.
advertised.
They've used it as a
Which is
movie
our
set,
local castle.
But possibly down at Tredegar House. Do you think maybe something?
I've
down there?
never
I don't know.
again heard of anything down there, so I don't know.
We
There you
will
go.
have to look into this. We will indeed. But yeah, it's a murder is announced, and as everybody who watches regularly knows, I'm quite Agatha Christie fan.
Yeah. Do you reckon I'd make a good Miss Marple? What do you reckon? I've always said I'd like to go and be the detective in Death in Paradise.
Only because she
But-
wants to go to a sunny area.
Okay, yeah,
with the
no,
beach.
that does come into it. But what do you reckon? Would I be better off in Death in Paradise, or would I be better off as the new Miss Marple? What do you reckon? Put my hair up in a bun, make myself look all matronly.
I got a walking stick, so I could be Poirot.
You could. Oh, we could have Poirot and I've forgotten her name already.
Hey, we'll have to have a fancy dress at Christmas. You can come as Miss Marple,
Miss
and I'll
Marple.
come as Poirot.
Yeah, we could do. Well, Miss Marple. There's a question now. Miss Marple and Poirot, were they around at the same time?
They met each other, I'm sure, on one
Right.
occasion.
Were they were in the same
Don't know if
age?
they
I think
did
she
in
was
our
older
books.
than Poirot, wasn't she?
I don't know.
That'd
but,
be a marriage
all
of
written
interest,
by
wouldn't
her.
it? If Poirot had married Miss Marple.
I know in a film, I think they actually bump into each other. Whether they did in the books, I don't know. Because, as you know, with my dyslexia, I'm not a great reader, but I do like watching my videos. And I'd say Poirot is definitely one of my favourite series to watch. I rewatch them just to see the acting because it's so good and entertaining, and the stories are well written.
Oh, Beata's been to an outdoor theatre performance in Buxton, and Lexi says we have them here. Usually they do Shakespeare or Jane Austen. Generally a summer thing, you take a picnic and enjoy the show. Now maybe that's why we don't get them, because we get so much rain. So you may find a lot of people don't want to risk it because they're forever being rained off. So maybe that's the point. Aha, here comes Ed, who would know. There are a few music concerts at Cardiff Castle and a cinema that shows modern films, so it will be showing history films, but not heard of any plays. There we go. So if Ed hasn't heard of it, then probably isn't on.
We used to have an open air cinema in Bargard. I don't know if they still run it. They used to do it every month, didn't they?
Yeah, I don't think he's running now.
No, I think they were trying to build up sort of following because we were trying to get a cinema here, but that went out the window.
We've got some interesting things coming up here. Lexi's been watching Mrs. Sidhu Investigates. Yeah, we've been watching that lately. It's quite good, isn't it? And Christina said Poirot was 1930s, Marple was post-World War II. But then again, Marple was older, wasn't she, when she featured? So would they have been roughly the same age at the same time?
Oh.
Oh, thank you, Dee Dee. Ozzy Pappin, you said you're too young to be Miss Marple, Mrs. Marple, Caroline. Oh, you catch me in the right light, and I not. Right then.
Shall I do my
so-
happy news?
Yes, you do. Do you want a jingle? You probably do. This
I
could
will.
be. I'll do my best.
I refuse to work without a
I'm
jingle.
going to take my time and get the
I'm
right
a
one.
professional.
And we
I
may
must
get
have my-
straight up.
I must have my jingle.
I can try and get back to the camera.
There we go, we're
You
back.
impressed?
There we go. An act of kindness 68 years ago turned into a great investment for the grandchildren. One rainy day in Bedfordshire, England, Peter Richards and his wife noticed a pair of lads shivering under the eaves of their country cottage after getting a soaking. They invited them inside to dry off and to have some tea. And one of the two young men gave them a ceramic sculpture of a black and white cat, which happened to look similar to their pet Moggy. at the time. He gave this as a repayment for their kindness. Now, that sculpture has just sold for a small fortune, because its maker was none other than Sir David Hockney, the most celebrated English artist of the 20th century, who was hitchhiking to London with his friend to visit exhibitions when he got caught in the rain and sheltered under the eaves of the cottage. When the sculpture went up for auction recently, along with drawings and plans for the piece, as well as letters and cards sent by the artist over the years as he stayed in touch with the family, it didn't quite reach the record for a Hockney work of £91 million, but it did sell for over £100,000. Peter Richards, who is now in his 90s, said he decided now was the right time to sell the ornament and to help the younger generations of his family. That's a nice story.
It is, isn't it?
On so many levels.
Yes.
An act of kindness that was simply done for strangers. A gift. This student had made a china cat in college, had it in his bag, and he gave it to him. He was just a student. Nobody knew at that moment who he was going to become. That his pieces, his most famous pieces, would sell for millions. So they say 91 million was the record. And all these years later, they stayed in touch for many years. He had all his letters, and then he put it all together as a collection with the thing, sold it for 100,000, so that he can, in his 90s, bless his grandchildren with a bit of financial security.
And that reminds me of the story of our youngest, when they were in college, they were in art college, and the teacher was, whenever they finished the end of the term, and they say, oh, I don't want to take my pieces home with me, she would take their pieces, and take them home, and she said, I'm sitting on them because if ever they become famous, I'm going to sell them because I really think they've got potential. And then they gave up art.
They really believed that our Joe was going to be a famous artist. They were going to hang on to all their scraps and doodles. But Joe was one of those who thought outside the box.
Yes.
And still does, but not into art at the minute.
No.
There we go. There we go. So I thought that was a lovely story on so many levels. As I say, it's just lovely when people do something kind, and without any looking for reward, the reward comes.
Yep, right, we're going to go to another question now and see if we can finish on time tonight without rushing.
Let's go mad. Okay. The lovely group of people that Caroline met in Raglan was studying French as part of the UK University of the Third Age movement. This is a movement that encourages people no longer in full-time work to come together and continue their enjoyment of learning. This was an idea inspired by a concept from which country? Did the inspiration for the University of the Third Age movement come from A, France, B, Switzerland, or C, Luxembourg?
Go.
I think it started in the 1970s, the University of the Third Age.
You a bit tall. What do you mean? No.
No?
Goodbye. Give you a lollipop if you behave yourself.
How's that?
I don't know. This can't. I'm having terrible trouble with my tripod, and I got one leg sort of tilted up on something because for some reason the camera will not straighten up on it. So I think it's at an angle as well, which makes it look even worse when you're looking big or small.
Now this is one of those questions. If you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't. But it's always worth a guess.
Oh,
That's
definitely.
why we give 1 or 3, because the answer was not in the video. But of course, questions do not have to be answered within the video, but they have to be related to the video. And I thought it would be interesting tonight to share with people the concept of the University Third Age, which I have come across before.
Yes.
Now, I thought you had to be over a certain age to join it, but you don't. It's for people who are no longer full-time employed, therefore you don't have to be over 60 or something, but generally it is designed for people who have retired but still want to carry on learning. And although it's called the university, there aren't exams, there isn't homework. It's people coming together with a common interest and then sharing each other's company as they learn in an interesting and entertaining way. That's what it is. So let's have a look and see who got the question right, because we're trying to find out whether the inspiration for the idea of the university came from France, Switzerland or Luxembourg. And the answer is France. So we're looking for A. And the first A on the board, Beata's on another podium, and this time it's gold.
Well done, Beata.
Then Colin Scott, they're on the silver.
Well done, Colin.
And if I'm not mistaken, we got to come down away, and it's Glenda Weiss.
Well done, Glenda.
There we go. So it's Beata, Colin and Glenda that take the podium places. And I would have said the most popular answer on there was Luxembourg, but it was incorrect.
Yeah.
I put it in because it sounded like the sort of place it probably came from. I'm sneaky. But there we go. So yeah, France. It wasn't the same, but they had something happening in France that kind of planted the seeds of thought and thought, how can we make this work over here? And they came up with the project of the University of Third Age.
Yeah.
In fact, I met some people from it a little while ago, and they were asking me if I would go and do a talk one day for them.
Oh, a talk.
A talk.
Oh, what on?
I don't know, probably my job, because they met me at it was one of their members of their group that passed away, and I was doing a service, and they were very interested in the way I do it and the job I do and things like that.
Right.
So there we go.
Oh, well, that'd be, well,
It's different.
he's got some interesting stories. Right then, so are we're doing really well now.
Well, we are. We're well ahead.
We are. I'm surprised. Just to let you know, I put my Christmas tree up. I know. It's too early, but because I do filming for my other channel, I put my Christmas tree up. And press the wrong button just a second. And I'll give you a sneaky peek at my Christmas tree. This camera may never set back up again. It's there it is. Will focus? Oh, there you are. There's just little samples. I'm working on some blue things for my next video, so I wonder what that looks like on the white. So that's why that's on there. So I'll turn you back around. So I got my Christmas tree up very early. It's been up, well, I put my Halloween one up a week ago. I've taken that down now and put this white one up. And I wanted to get some white lights with some white wire on. And I could get white lights, but only with green wire, and I couldn't get them anywhere. And then I went on Amazon. They must have had some in since last year, because last year I tried. And I got some, they were Amazon warehouse or something where they'd been returned. And I got them really about a third of the price. So I'm really pleased with those. And I got 300 lights on my 5-foot tree, and it's looking really pretty. I've never had so many lights on a tree. So I like it. I like it even if I don't put anything else on it. But it's going to have some things. I need to turn the light off now. This is a bit, look at that.
Christmas definitely comes early in this house with Caroline's crafting.
Yep.
Over on the Facebook group this week, we've had some interesting articles. Yvonne put up a picture, because Yvonne wasn't with us last week. She said because she was out with her daughter at a stadium, because her daughter was part of a band at the stadium, and her daughter so kindly stood directly above the ampersand, so that when Mum took a photo from the other side of the podium, she's actually able to say, my daughter is the one in the cool shades, stood directly above the ampersand. So we were able to share a picture on there, which was absolutely brilliant. We've had a great picture in, I tell you what, an awesome sky on Adam's picture of his train on a wall at the estuary. That was a cracking autumn sky on that picture. And some other brilliant sky pictures of Michelle as well. Michelle Newson-Grady put up some fantastic, very bright and colourful skies, including a bat. So some nice things going on over there. If you haven't joined the Facebook group, then it's Let's Go with the Johnsons over on Facebook. If you want to join the group, simply apply and we'll put you in. The
Yeah.
only reason for the application process is so that it becomes a closed group where everybody can share together and feel totally safe and just know that everybody in there, because it gives us the ability, if somebody was to come in for any other purpose, then I can simply put them back out.
Yes.
So it just keeps it nice and safe. But lots of wonderful things getting shared this week. So thank you to everyone who's been making contributions.
Yes, and if you've made anything, whether it's craft, cooking, whether you've been somewhere interested in anything like that, pop the pictures on, because we all love seeing the pictures. And some
Indeed.
people who maybe don't get a chance to go out as often or don't get a chance to make things anymore will really enjoy it, as well as the rest of us. I love seeing people's gardens, people's paintings. It's wonderful.
Ed's dinner.
Ed's dinner, yes.
Yes,
We all like
can't-
seeing Ed's dinner.
Can't forget Ed's.
When are you
Ed's
going to start a
dinners.
cookery channel, Ed? That would be
Yeah.
good.
And of course, Mo put up a wonderful picture of her fireplace.
Yes.
Highly
All done up very
decorated
nicely.
for Halloween. So loads and loads of things. Lexi had a piece up there about the lions at the local
Oh, yes.
wildlife splashing about in the water. Don't know if they're used to that sort of thing. I shouldn't think so under normal conditions.
No, I don't know. I've never, because they go into the water, and I've seen these awful bits where they kill wildebeest, and I know it's part of nature, but it's still, I don't like watching it. But they're in the water then, so they're obviously not too frightened of water, depending on how hungry you are.
Cats in general are not keen, are they?
No.
Cats, the kind of cats, domestic cats, are not terribly keen.
No.
That's people use with water sprays on the lawns.
No,
to
a
keep
stupid
away.
dog wasn't keen. She
No,
was
no,
terrible.
they run away from. They go down the sea and sort of yelp and run away when the water comes in. And Anne shared some pumpkin cakes and things as well.
Yes, because last week we were talking about pumpkin. I still haven't reduced the pumpkins yet. I'm waiting and waiting. So another, was it 2 days? What date is it today?
Yeah, 28th, 29th, 30th, 3 days.
3 days, and I'll be able to go get some reduced pumpkins, and I'm going to make some pumpkin pie.
And I think it's pretty safe they're not going to sell them all.
No, they got so
Uh,
many
there's-
pumpkins.
They've obviously, well, we drove past a field when we went to Raglan. But this has nothing to do with SRs, this is to do with pumpkins. We drove past the field and you said, no, gosh, look at the pumpkins in there.
And
And
we
it was-
don't usually get pumpkin fields here,
No.
do we? It's not,
not
a big
down this
thing.
way, but up there they obviously decided it was the thing to grow, and I just get the sense it must have been a good year for pumpkins, because normally in our local supermarket the pumpkins are like this size. And this year they're like
Some very
this
big
size.
ones, yeah.
You know, so obviously they're getting bigger pumpkins at a better price. So there's a pumpkin glut. That's my
Pumpkin mountain.
That's my theory on it. That's what I think. And I should mention, in case I forget at the end of the show, I don't know how it pans out around the world, but when we go off air tonight, we will be moving our clocks back. So
Yep.
here in the UK, officially, I think at 3 a.m. tomorrow morning, the clocks will go back to 2.
We made the
Well,
mistake of not altering them in the night before, and then
yeah.
we spent the whole next day and possibly the day after an hour
Now we're
out.
behind.
So
So,
we're going
yeah.
to set them tonight.
Just to remind everybody out there that if you're, at least if you're in the UK, it is tonight that you need to move your clock. I don't know how that works for all the countries of the world.
No, I don't think America
not-
goes yet.
not
Or
every
have they already
country
gone?
does
I'm not
it.
sure.
Not every country does it, and some countries do it at a slightly different time, but for us, it moves tonight. So when we finish tonight in 10 minutes' time, I will go and move my clock back to 9 o'clock, and
Yes. It's like
it'll
it
be like
never
Groundhog
happened.
Day. We just get back the hour, the whole thing. So I made a note of that. See on
Right.
there. See, I said on there, I said, clocks go back tonight, so that everybody could be reminded, because it is the sort of thing people forget.
Yeah, it is.
Do you want to...
Lexi said lots of crops were ruined in Lincolnshire due to the floods. Potatoes, cabbage, cauliflower, all rotting now.
Wow.
Oh, but that's going to put the price up as well, isn't it now? And
I tell you what.
Dorothy Papigno said the week after Halloween, the roadside has so many discarded pumpkins. What a waste. Oh, and we don't see any thrown away on the roadside here. I think they generally go into like some composting scheme that the supermarkets have if they can't sell them. So hopefully they'll go really cheap.
I suppose out in the States and that, a lot of people use them to decorate along the roadsides, and then perhaps they just get left there. I don't know, because here the decorations are not as prolific
No.
by a long joke. We're catching up with Christmas. Some people now do very big Christmas displays. At one time, the only
What
people...
have you done to your computer? It's gone bonkers.
I can fix that. Anyway, I fixed it. I accidentally tapped my finger on the thing.
What am I
We've
doing,
gone back
showing
in
everybody
time.
a Christmas
And Caroline
tree?
was showing a Christmas tree on you for a moment then.
Right, so Glenn Device said the US is next week. So next week the live will be at 1 o'clock for me instead of 2 o'clock
There we
in
go.
the afternoon.
So we're moving. I knew
And
it
don't
was-
forget, we won't be doing a live show next weekend
Yeah.
because we're on babysitting duties for our son's 40th birthday. So
Yeah.
we get to be granny and granddad, and I don't want to risk having problems. So
As of next week, I will have 2 children who have exceeded their 40th birthday.
yeah,
How did that happen?
it
dear?
can't be because I don't feel 40.
I
so
know. How did it happen?
I don't know. I wasn't looking, and then poof,
Yeah.
my children all grew up.
Where did they go?
Well, I know
did
where they
go?
are.
Where did the years
All
go?
the years, I don't know where they are. Right.
145 euros for one beata paid for pumpkins.
Right, well, that's not bad. Depending on the size, it's not bad. They got little tiny ones here. Where did I see those?
You saw them in Marks and Spencer's.
Yeah,
in
I've
the
also
porch.
seen
going
some in-
There was little green ones and.
They
different
were a
colours.
pound, weren't they? I've
They were
seen
a
them
pound.
cheaper than that. I think it was Morrison's, were they?
Ah, well, they were a pound because I spotted a potty maron in there, didn't I?
Yes, and I said to Anno, if you look at the sticker, that was a
Different.
culinary pumpkin. It was described as, and it was only it was about this big. It wasn't like the ones I bought from France.
And it wouldn't have been
And
a
it
pound.
wouldn't have been a pound. No, if it was a
Somebody
pound,
put
I'd
it
have
in the
bought
wrong
it.
box.
Right then, so we need another question because time. Oh, look at the time now. We've been chatting and time's gone away. There we go.
Caroline referred to the post office as the heart of a village when we were doing the video. And the one in Raglan is certainly no exception. As well as the postal service, they are also the newsagent for the village. And what other store? Was it a stationery store, a grocery store, or a hardware store?
Go.
So A for stationery, B for grocery, C for hardware. What do you think, folks? Outside on the sign it said post office and newsagents and something. What was the word there? Was it stationery, grocery, or hardware? What are we thinking? A,
Yeah.
B, or C?
Beata did well in about 25 centimetres diameter. So what was that big? Nice size pumpkin for that then. How much did you pay? Can't see it now. It was €145. That's an excellent price. Oh, I can't wait to get started on my pumpkin pie. I've seen people use pumpkins in things like cookies as well. I don't know what they do. I'm going to have a look for some pumpkin recipes if I get one of the big ones because I'll probably have enough for a few different recipes. And what doesn't get used in that, I'll make a pumpkin soup with.
I tell you what, they're an eagle-eyed lot. They're an
Yeah,
eagle-eyed lot.
eagle-eyed.
They're an eagle-eyed lot, yes. I didn't think many would get it, but I'd say half the people have got it right.
Well done.
I would, because I thought it was quite unusual to see post office and newsagent and hardware. Not the mix you'd normally expect. You'd think it'd be either stationery or groceries, but folks noticed, and Dan Fetters is top of the tree
Well done, Dan.
with a C. Then we've got Ed Creative
Well done, Ed.
and Beata Heinz.
Well done,
So
Beata.
it's Dan, Ed and Beata, and I happen to know that although several answers down, Peggy is now running 3 out of 4. 'Cause I
Well
think
done,
Peggy went
Peggy.
A on the last one, but she got 3 out of 4, which is pretty good going in this competition, I tell you. So there we go, folks. That's Dan on gold, Ed on silver, Beata on bronze.
So now we're going to have to go straight to another question.
Are we?
We are.
How did that happen? Right then, folks. We have reached that time in the night where we need to know how many times did Mankey appear in this video. Now, the judge's decision will be final.
The judge's decision will be possibly right.
The judge's decision will be debated at length and ultimately will be final when it's been modified by the input of others in the room. So,
Lexi Raglan sleeves are coming soon.
yes, there wasn't a question on the Raglan clothes, but there will be when we visited the castle, because there is a return visit. It's got nothing to do with butchers. It's the castle. We got to go back for the castle. We didn't have time this time.
No.
We thought we'd park up, walk through town and go to the castle. But the town was so impressive.
And we just found the people to talk to.
Yeah,
We thought,
we just thought,
we're not going to
wow.
rush, we're enjoying
We
it.
enjoyed ourselves so much, but then we had to get home. So we've got to go back, which isn't a bad thing.
Lexi said Ribble's answer will be final, more like exactly.
Well, yes, when I say the room, I do mean the metaphorical room that includes all 41 people who are still watching after 65 minutes of this show. So here we go, folks. Do you think that Mankey appeared A, once, B, twice, or C, 3 times?
Go! Oh, hello to Lesbian Turon. Hello from myself and my mom, Rachel Ramey in Michigan. Hello, both. Lovely to see you. Right. Oh, the answers are not coming in so quickly today. Ed, he confessed 2 guess as I've got to count. Right. Ribble finds and craft 2 times on the Raglan Baptist Church sign and in the doorway. Both are very sneaky ones today. How could you say such a thing? So, does that tally with you? That's the question.
Would I dare to argue with the oracle?
No.
Well, on this occasion, I have no reason to. I did argue last week
You're
because
still probably wrong.
I raised the issue of the one in my pocket.
Oh, yes.
Yes, we had the pocket one at Caerleon that caught out everybody. But we haven't caught out everyone today because the gold podium is going to Ed with a guess because he forgot to count, which proves it's always worth a guess, Ed.
Well done, Ed.
Yes, and 10 out of 10 for being honest and saying it was a total guess. Mike Sage is taking the silver on the
Well
mountain
done,
one.
Mike.
Because he said to. And then, as if it should be so, Ribble finds and crafts.
Oh, well done,
with a
Ribble
very
finds.
detailed reply and telling me that we were sneaky this time. Has come up with the 2 and says at 3:54 on the Raglan Baptist Church sign and at 11:12 in the doorway at the church.
Well done.
And they were the 2. So there we go. It's Ed, Dan and Ribble finds. You take the last 3 podiums. So that's the end of the quiz for tonight. It's all the happy news used up.
Yep.
And it's 1 minute to 10.
1 minute to 10.
But it's not really, because at any moment now it's going to go to 9 o'clock again, because I'm going to go around and move all the clocks.
So did anybody count how many times Phil said the naughty phrase before the end of the show?
I didn't.
You did. I reckon it was at least 10.
Well, thanks everyone for joining us. It's been great to be with you. It's lovely that 40 people have stuck the whole show out with us
Yes, well
tonight.
done. You deserve a medal.
And we will be putting out a video on Friday night, I'm sure. And if I sound uncertain when I say I'm sure, it's because we are still running with 0 in the tank. We have no reserve videos and haven't had now for weeks, months, maybe a year. We used everything up in COVID, all of our backlog, all of our 20 backlog videos we got used up. We're now running week to week. We literally have to go out. I have to look at the weather, find a day I'm not working, find the weather slot that we can use, and sometimes there's 2 hours of sunshine in a week. And we've
We're
got to
up
go
quick
for
as we
it.
can.
So, but we will get a video out Friday night, but we won't be with you next Saturday, so we'll see you the week after
Yes.
for the live show.
We'll
But
be
please
back. We'll be back.
join us in the premiere, and I'm sure wherever we end up, we'll do our best to make it as interesting as we can.
Yes. Right, so we'll see you all next time, which is 2 weeks' time. But until then, don't forget,
Have fun.
Bye.
Bye.